All right, let's get nice and cozy here because we're going to talk about my relationships, right? So I hate when people say to me, it's because you haven't learned your lesson yet. I feel like I have learned all the lessons that I needed to learn. I'm done. I'm good. And I'll tell you the one lesson that I did learn pretty hard that I kept doing over and over and over is I always gave guys the benefit of the doubt. I always saw the potential. I always saw the good. And so when I would meet somebody and there would be obviously your red flag that would pop up and I'm like, yeah, but like maybe I should get to know him. Like, I don't know what it was. I just always thought there was more inside. And who they are showing me is just like their cover, right? And I'm like, but there's good in there. And that's where I went wrong a lot, right? So we learned that lesson pretty hard after a long couple of years. And now I'm definitely at the point where I won't do that. When you show me who you are right off the bat, I'm done. I'm gone. Or if there's something that I don't like, I'm immediately gone. Because I know now, after doing it over and over, that that's exactly who they are. Their insides may be really, really great, but they're not working on themselves to be that, right? So that was definitely the hardest lesson that I learned in my dating path. I definitely keep picking the same type of guy, and I still don't understand why. I'm still trying to figure that out in therapy, because the guys that I've dated, let's go over it, right? They've all been very physically different. I have definitely dated guys who were 5'6", 5'7", like 130 pounds, like same size as me, right? Then I dated guys who were like 6'4", 6'5", 220 pounds. Like I've dated the scale of physical looks. I dated guys with lots of tattoos. I dated guys with no tattoos. I've dated guys who were super athletic to guys who weren't. And I've picked different careers. For example, I have gone out with lawyers. I have gone out with construction workers. I've gone out with a doctor. I've gone out with a teacher. I have gone out with different career paths: cops, firefighters, military. Oh my God, so many different careers, right? So I've had a scale of careers, a scale of physical attributes, and for some reason, they always end up wanting the same thing, being the exact same way. Like they just want something casual. They haven't figured out their relationship situation yet. They're just looking for someone who's fun and lighthearted. And that wasn't necessarily me. I am a type A person. Am I fun? Yeah, of course I'm fun, but I'm also on a path. I'm on a path and I know what I want. I have goals. I'm trying to achieve something right now. I work a lot. I work out a lot. So I have very little time to date. So when I go on a date now, it's like I need you to be on the same trajectory. Like you are headed towards something. And so that's where I'm at now. But definitely the guys that I've dated in the past have always been like I can fix him. I can help him. Like I was definitely that girl. And we get that is a lot of like your childhood stuff, right? Like I can see the good in him. I mean, let's check it back. Like I've had 3 boyfriends my whole life. Yes, 3. I'm not your casual hookup person. I'm not. I'm either in a relationship or I'm trying to find somebody to be in a relationship with. So if we knock it back to my very first boyfriend when I was like 20, because honestly I was so scared of boys growing up that I didn't really talk to them. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18 years old. Like I was a lot older. I had my first kiss at 15 and I barely spoke to them because I was terrified. So I didn't have my first boyfriend till I was like 20, 21. And that guy, he was pretty bipolar. We went to Warped Tour. Yes, Warped Tour. If you know what it is, we went to Warped Tour and there's like a drumming thing that you could do. And he was a drummer. And so we're walking by, I pause and I'm like, hey, that looks like fun. Do you want to go try that? And he storms off, right? Just storms off. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, what just happened? So I go after him, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, how do you embarrass me like that? Like, that was so embarrassing, putting me on the spot in front of all those people. And I'm like, we were having a private conversation. Nobody's listening to us. Like, what are you talking about? Right? So this guy, he was a lot of ups and downs. And I, honest to God, thought like I could help him become like level, right? I'm like, I'm here for you. Like, you're so erratic. Like, you don't have to live like this. And so, Mrs. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna fix you. Obviously, that didn't work, and the relationship ended. After that, the guy that I dated for 4 years, and once again, we were just on completely different pages, different trajectories, and that ended because as that 4-year relationship progressed, I started to grow up, right? I'm like, I want different things. I want to be an adult. I want my house to be clean all the time. I want everything to be nice and neat. And he was like the messiest person that I ever met. He was not driven. He didn't have any goals. He was just like, And he's still like that to this day. He is still very like, And I'm like, oh my God. We're old now, and he's still in that spot. So that's why I know that after that, I was like, the guy that I have to date, he has to be on a trajectory. He has to be going somewhere. He has to want something. So that's when I started to realize the type of man that I wanted. And then my next relationship was another 4-year-long relationship. And I love this guy so deeply, right? Because he seemed like he was everything that, like, from the last relationship I wanted. He wanted to start his own business. He was like bettering himself, and he projected himself as this person who was like so clear-headed, so clear-minded, had a vision, right? Turns out that was also not true. He was a hot mess, and I realized that I was like, I'm gonna love him into being the type of person that I met the person that I first met. And that's when I first met the guy who, he's the first time I ever met a guy who projected himself in one way but wasn't actually that person. So I'm learning all of these lessons that I feel like people learn earlier in life, but I'm learning them later because I spent my 20s and my early 30s like just, in these lessons that I didn't learn earlier in life. So I do feel like I'm learning everything much, much later. Everybody that I know have already had these experiences, and I feel like I'm just experiencing them all for the first time. So that can be tough to be my age and learning lessons that other people have already learned. I mean, I work with a girl who's 25, and we talk about dating, and she's like, Tiffany, stop it. Like, just stop it. And it can be really discouraging to be meeting these type of people later on in life, because I spent my early years in long-term relationships and then my teens not dating. So I am out here dating now in my 30s, and I'm learning everything. Like, I'm like a deer caught in headlights of like, oh, what do you mean these people exist? Because I feel like I was in such a dating bubble. I was in my cute little bubble, and I didn't know that people were out there legit just lying. I couldn't fathom that. I was like, why do people lie like that? Like, why not just be yourself? Why not be direct? And these are things I would talk about with my therapist. I'm like, I don't understand it. And I literally can't wrap my head and my brain around people who pretend to be something they're not and pretend to be who they're not. My brain can't comprehend it at all, pretty much. So while everybody has already learned life's lessons, I get to now happily experience them later in life. That's why I have had such a crappy dating life, because I genuinely didn't know that people were as bad as they were. Like, I really didn't. I really, really didn't. So now that I'm learning that, and starting to see people for exactly who they are, I decided to, take a break from dating, because I got to figure out what it is about me that, even with these physical differences, these career differences, what is it about me that still sees something in them that is the same? But I also feel like I'm pretty happy not dating. I've been single for 5 years. I've dated. I've, been in shorter times of dating. I wouldn't call them relationships because we were never official. But there were, periods of dating nice guys. Like, every story that I tell online about my dating series, some of those stories span back like a really long time, okay? And I have gone out with really nice guys, and I've met really nice guys, and it just didn't work out, because at that point, if it's not them, it's me, right? So what am I doing that I'm attracting these guys, and then when I meet a really genuine guy, they're not interested in me? I don't see what that could be, personally. I don't see why not. I don't see why that could be. That sounds so stupid. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, I can't figure out what they see in me after one date. Because I think I'm quite the catch. I work really hard. I work 6 days a week. I work out a lot. I am consistently managing and taking care of several different things at once. I'm a very busy person, and I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm very direct and very open. I definitely am hard to get to know, more so now that I've been hurt pretty significantly. I don't trust people. That's definitely, a big one, is when people do try to tell me they are who they say they are, and I'm like, but are you? Are you? Because I got fooled pretty good, and I got my heart crushed because I thought I was dating somebody who loved me, and it turned out that they were just treating me like complete and utter crap behind my back. And that's my baggage. I know that's my baggage. That's what I do now, is I automatically am thinking somebody's hiding something from me. So I went from thinking everybody's good, I see the potential in everybody, to now what is happening is I don't trust anybody. I meet a good guy and I'm like, but are you? Are you a good guy? What are you hiding? And that's now where I'm at, and that's what I have to fix. So I'm definitely taking a big break from dating. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to enjoy my summer and my life, and we're not doing that. So I'm going to collect myself. We'll come back in the fall. We'll try to answer some of these questions. Hopefully be able to adjust my trust issues, and when somebody nice comes around, be able to trust that, be able to know the difference between giving somebody their trust and then also seeing them for who they are. No more giving the benefit of the doubt. Like, how do you do that, though? Like, how do you trust somebody? Like, if you meet a good guy, how do you trust that they're a good guy? But then you've also met guys that you thought were good guys, and then they messed you up. Like, what? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to decipher. That's my issue, is I don't know how to decipher between, are you a good guy or are you lying? When do you give the benefit of the doubt because it's you versus giving the benefit of the doubt because you want to see something better in them? I don't know how to decipher that yet. How do I do that? How do I do that? how do I trust a guy, but then also believe people when they, I don't know. It's so confusing. It really is. It's like, these are some of the things that I'm going to have to work on this summer, and that's what I'm going to do. Because, I mean, I'm not in a rush either to meet anybody. I'm totally okay with building my life, growing as an individual. And if I don't meet somebody until I'm like 50, then I don't meet somebody until I'm 50. I need to be like so happy in my own life that if I never meet somebody, then I never meet somebody. That's not the goal, right? I want to have relationships with other people, strong relationships with other people. And I definitely, from my grandparents and my mom, like, they met their partner later in life, and it was like perfect. They've met perfect men. And that's what I want. Is I want what my grandfather was, and I want what my stepfather is to my mom. Like, the things that these men do show me that these men exist out in the world. I mean, my stepfather, he will drive like forever to come help me. He will, like, I got my car broken into and I drove down to his house, and he was sitting there ready with food for me. He was like, go to sleep after this. I went to sleep, and he patched up my window. He, vacuumed up all the glass, and then still got up at 4 a.m. to go to work. Like, I've met these men. I have these men figures in my life that just treat women so, like, perfectly. Like, they are very strong men who take care of women. And I look at them, and they're so kind and so gentle. And then like, my grandfather loved my mom. I mean, my grandfather loved my grandmother so much. My stepfather loves my mom so much. And they have these great, healthy relationships. And so I have seen it twice in my life, like 2 generations. I mean, the first time didn't work out. The second time, they got Prince Charming. And I've never seen men more kind and gentle and caring and loving than these men. But we can get into that on another story. But that's what I want, so I'm okay with waiting for that to happen, and I'm okay with taking the time and the journey of my own life to figure things out, so that way I can be open enough to let this guy come into my life and find this guy, because I have now done the work. So I'm okay with the journey. Let's do the journey, however long it takes, but I will do it. I will do the work, and I'll meet him. I will get to the place where it cosmically is happening, and he is brought into my life, and we're both in this position where we can see each other. So, if anybody has any advice, throw it in the comments. You want to tell me a story about the journey that you're on? Let me know. Like, I would love to hear from you guys. All right, so thank you for coming to my little podcast, and we'll talk next time.